My name is Franzer Balan at your line. My contact number is 05DAD20F2031. Introduction. A wheel is a round device that can rotate on its axis and thus can facilitate movement. In addition, wheel can also be used to do work. In general, the term is also used for a rotating or swirling round object, such as a flywheel. Wheel design proved to be very important, not only one of the means of transportation, but also for the development of technology in general. Wheel function 1. To withstand or weight. 2. Can transfer road surface energy. 3. Make it easier for the worker to work. 4. Can reduce imbalances. 5. Can lighten or facilitate the movement of an object.
Hello, my name is Celestine Balan, anak Jonathan, and my matrix number is 05DAD20F2035. And for my slide, I will be explaining of what 3D modeling technique that we use to create all the parts of our product. So as you can see on the screen, there are all 5 parts of our product. This is the first part, and this is the second part. This is the third one, this is the fourth part, and this is the fifth one. So, for the first part, we will need a 3D modeling technique of extrusion and revolution. We will need 4 extrusion of this part to create this part, and one revolution to create the bottom part. So, on the 4th extrusion of this part, we will need chamfer and thread to create a shape like this. Then, we move to the second part. So, for the second part, we will need an extrusion and a revolution technique also on the second part. The first technique is extrusion. On this side, we need to extrude 10 mm distance. And then for the revolution, we need to revolve this side with an angle 360 degrees. And inside of the part, we will use thread 1 to create a shape like this. Then we move to the third part. For the third part, the third part is used to hold the wheel, and the wheel is placed between this part. In this part, you can see in the video, it will need extrusion, 2 extrusion combined with a fillet and a mirror, so it can create a shape like this. At the upper part of this one, we also need to extrude in the middle of this part with a distance 210 mm. So based on the video, you can see it can create a shape like this in the middle of this part. Then we move to the fourth part. So basically, this part is used with the second part. It combined with the second part to create a bolt and nut. So as you can see, the fourth part, we will need to use, we are using 2 extrusion and 1 revolution. Based on the video, firstly we extrude the upper part with a 10 mm and the second one with a 110 mm. With a default, with a joint output, and then We also add some chamfer at the end of this side, so it can create a shape like this. So we move to the revolution technique. We revolve on the upper part of this one. We also added some thread so it can create a perfect shape at the end of the fourth part. And then we move to the fifth part. So this is the last part of our product. And this is the main part, that is the wheel. And we will need 3 extrusion and 1 revolution. So based on the video, we will need to extrude on the sketch one with 80mm. The second one, we revolve this part so with an angle 360 degrees, so it can create a very perfect shape in the middle of the wheel. Next, we will need to extrude in the middle part of the wheel so it can create a hole all the way to the other side of the wheel with a distance 85mm. And it is flipped to the other side of the wheel. And we also added some fillet to create a perfect shape inside of the hole. And then on the fourth extrusion, we will need to extrude through all, and it is flipped to the other side. And we will need to extrude 5 profiles so it can create the same size on the wheel, just like the video. It's a perfect triangular shape. So all the parts have been created, and I will pass the next slide to Darren Nuing to join all the parts all together. That's all for me. Thank you.
My name is Darren Nuing. My matrix number is 05DAD2044. So, this is the last part of our project. As you can see, we use assembly to join all the 5 parts all together. The first joint that we use at the wheel is rotational joint. It can rotate 360 degrees. Second, we use rigid to lock the bolt and nut together so it can stay in fixed position. Finally, we also use rigid to join the upper part of the wheel holder. So, that's all from our group. Thank you.